Hi, I'm Sherry Nichols, and I want to welcome you to The Miracle in You. Would you love to see a miracle in your health? Would you love to see a miracle in your finances or your career or your relationship? Well, I'm here to tell you that it is possible. All you have to do is trust and believe. I am so thrilled to be here with you today. This show is all about inspiration, bringing you hope from people all over the world who have experienced traumatic events, dire diagnoses, really hard times, and have come through the victor. And today I have one of my dearest friends, Lori-Ann Robinson, with us. She has suffered a severe health crisis, and today she is here hiking with me, and she's going to share what that miracle was for her. So, Lori, I'm turning it over to you. Tell us about your miracle.
Okay, as Sherry and I were in this beautiful area in Santa Barbara just hiking, and she said to me, turned and said to me, "Do you have a miracle?" And I said, "Of course I do, my ankle." About 30 years ago, I was hiking in the snow, and I slipped and fell. And I fell down the side of a pretty steep hill, and on the way down, my ankle hit an ice boulder. So if I was flipped, it would have hit my head, and I wouldn't be here talking to you or hiking right now. So my foot hit this ice boulder and cracked to smithereens. It was, can't even pronounce what it was, but the technical term, but it was really messed up. So I was airlifted out by the sheriff's department, and that was a trip and a half to have the helicopter then block off the road. Helicopter comes down, the snow is flying everywhere. One of the sheriffs took his big parka off and covered me up with it because I was in shock. There was no bleeding at the time, and there was no bone sticking through, thank God, but basically my ankle looked like it was dead.
Oh my gosh, Lori, that had to be so traumatic.
And the pain was unbelievable. And thank goodness I was in snow, because I was able to put snow on top of it to try to keep the swelling down, having the ice. So next thing I know, sheriff department, stretcher, the whole 9 yards, just like what you see on that old show MASH. That's basically what it was like, with an open helicopter. And they had started to stop at different areas to pick up skiers and so forth that had injuries. So we were up and down in the helicopter until they flew us to the nearest hospital.
Were you in shock during this time, Lori, or were you consciously aware of everything that was going on?
I was aware of everything. I was in shock. And when they finally got the boot off and I saw the ER doctor's face, it was just drained of color. And I went, that's not a good sign. And then sent me to x-ray, which probably was the most painful thing I've ever had in my life. Was they had to flip my ankle around, which to this day, I could feel that pain sometimes in my ankle. It was so horrific, because there you have a shattered ankle. So once he saw the x-rays, he said, "I'm not sure if you're ever going to walk again."
Oh, Lori.
I was 28 at the time.
What went through your mind when he said that?
I looked at him in disbelief. Now, granted, they hadn't given me any pain meds. This was, it almost seemed like we're in the dark ages back over 30 years ago with medicine. And I was still in excruciating pain. And I looked at him and I said, I beg your pardon. And he said, yeah. He said, this is really badly shattered. I don't know if we can save it. And you might be in a wheelchair the rest of your life. Well, I just thought to myself, there's no way this is happening to me. I'm 28 years old. I will not stand for that. I am going to make it my life's mission now to get back to some semblance of that I will be able to walk. And so in my inimitable, I think that's the word, fashion, I say to the doctor, okay, I can't walk, but when can I wear heels? Because that's what I was concerned with.
Well, of course, you're a woman,
when can I wear high
28?
heels? And he looked at me and he said, I don't think you get this. And I said, what? He said, I don't think you're going to walk. And I went, yeah, I will. And I'm going to wear high heels.
So, Lori, tell me, what gave you that sense of certainty?
I think there was just something in the core being of me, And I was working in television at the time, and I was on my feet like 15, 16 hours a day, and I knew my career would come to a crashing halt, and I was just getting started, and there was so much I wanted to do, and I had set big goals for myself as a TV costume designer, and I didn't want to let anything stop me. And the fact that I would have to be in a wheelchair at that age because of a broken ankle just was unfathomable to me. So I then got scheduled for surgery the next day, and that is when the real party began, because that pain for days and months, and then subsequently then years, you know, in various degrees. And you know, a lot of people I think would have just said, listen, I'm just going to sit in a wheelchair and give up. But I pushed through. I did the physical therapy, and I just kept a really positive mental attitude. And you hear this all the time with people with debilitating injuries or diseases. It's all about your attitude. And if you've got goals and setting goals for yourself, that you have a strong will to do something, because I thought,
So important.
I don't want to be in a situation where I'm not going to ever be able to date again, dance again, not only just walk, do any kind of physical activity. I was an avid tennis player at the time, and I was really good.
So in that moment, when he said you'd never walk again, in essence, your whole life just flashed before your eyes.
It just did. And I sat there, you know, and I was laying there actually, and I thought, he can't be talking to me. There was like an outer body experience.
So that certainty that came in for you, that gave you that positivity, what do you attribute that to? I mean, do you have a strong faith, or what was it that brought that to you?
Definitely strong faith, deep belief in God, that miracles do happen, and a lot of it has to do with what's up here. You know, it wasn't so much of the physicality of it, but it was the mental strength and the fact that I was going to tough this through.
So
and
taking your mind off the circumstance and just really staying true to what you wanted your life to look like.
What I wanted it, my goals. I was fairly new to California, and I thought, oh, this can't be happening. I've only lived here 3 years. I can't possibly be told I'm never going to walk again after just getting to this state. I hardly knew where anything was, and I just said no, because I had a very strong drive to succeed in the entertainment industry, because this is a whole other miracle that I'm not even going to go into, but I had been told so many times, oh, you're never going to make it, that's way too hard of a business to be in, blah, 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 blah. I had so many naysayers, and I thought, I want to prove them all wrong. I am going to prove every single one of them wrong, and I'm really going to succeed in this business. And I think it was just, I don't know, stubbornness. It was, you know, when somebody tells you, oh no, you can't do that, and then you flip it. Instead of listening to the negative, you flip it and say, oh, yes, I can. And that's what it was.
And you eventually, obviously, today are on this beautiful hike with me. And so why is this a miracle? Why is this a miracle for you, Lori?
It is a miracle because I am in a good place now. You know, I've had 3 surgeries on my ankle. I've not done a few things that orthopedic surgeons wanted to do to me. I've seen, probably 7 or 8 orthopedists during my time with this ankle. And when somebody would say something to me that didn't feel good, and I would see red flags go up in front of my face, I didn't do them, because I knew they weren't right for me, because I would be in a whole different situation right now if I did some of the things some of the orthopedists wanted to do.
So you listened to your intuition. You listened to that gut feeling.
You know, blood,
is
sweat,
so
and
important.
tears, and I cried a lot, but there were things that I just could not do, that I did not feel, and I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be walking as well as I am now and doing a beautiful hike.
So the impact of this miracle for you, and really believing that there is that power that's greater than you.
Yes.
Staying positive, trusting the gut, got you to this place you're at now. So what is that impact for you overall, like for your life? So you went from a surgeon telling you you're never going to walk again to now, you've been living. You went on a beautiful trip a year ago to walking all over London at
Yes.
Christmas, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
what?
before the
Yeah.
pandemic, literally walking probably over, could be close to 20,000 steps a day, which roughly equates to about 6 miles a day, for 8 days straight.
So
Some-
what is the impact, would you say then, of really making it through this?
I think it's just strong will and definitely have a belief in a higher being that you're going to be watched over and taken care of, and don't give up. I think a lot of it is just a perseverance, and just don't give up. Don't listen to a lot of people that are negative, and just keep going ahead and doing your own thing. And if it feels right to you, then do it. Find yourself excellent doctors. That's why, getting back to that, I went through so many orthopedists, because a lot of them I didn't like. And I would be next, and really doing your research and finding somebody that will help you, and that you feel a kindred spirit to, that isn't going to push you into something that you're not comfortable with.
Yes.
And really explain it to you. So I found a doctor that was my angel, my saving grace, a saint. Find people that are like-minded as far as how you want to live your life and what you're comfortable doing in any kind of medical situation.
So the impact really has been that you have been able to go on and live the life that you wanted
And I
to.
wear heels.
Yes.
I mean, I don't.
And there you
I
go.
wouldn't
Yeah.
be walking,
Yeah.
20 steps or 20,000 steps a day in heels, but I can wear heels now.
That's awesome.
I mean, not like the skyscrapers, but still within
Yeah.
reason. I can wear them.
Yeah.
I can go dancing. I am all about wearing cute shoes.
Yes.
I am not wearing
She
orthopedic
is.
looking
I see
shoes.
every shoe she has on is always cute.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing this, Lori, because I know if you're watching this and you have a health issue and you're told that you're never going to be physically fit in the way that you would like to be, I think Lori here has shared a story that gives us all hope that it is possible. Anything is possible. Just need to trust and believe, put your mind to it. Don't even think about the circumstance. Just keep seeing yourself as
Whole.
you are whole and you are healthy. And no matter how long it takes, you do not want to give up on that vision or that dream. So thank you, Lori, so much
You're
for
welcome.
sharing with
We're gonna
us
get back
today.
to our walk.
We're going to get back to the walk, but I want to just share with you all that if you are wanting to learn how to connect to that power that Lori's talking about that brought her so much strength, I have a very special gift for you. It is Diamond Power Meditation that will hook you right into that God energy, that God feel, that universal, whatever that is for you. And all you have to do is go to diamondpowertv.com and you'll have immediate access to that. Until next time, believe in the miracle in you. Bye now.